Hey guys, what's up? So for those of you who've been following my social media, most of you probably already know, but I have officially been permanently banned from Twitter. In the last couple of days, I've gotten no less than three totally contradictory, totally different, totally factually inaccurate reasons from them. Yet no explanation, no evidence, no nothing. And I genuinely didn't expect this. I really didn't see this coming. I didn't think that they would be going after me so hardcore. And I'm not gonna lie, this is really, it's very dejecting. This is the lowest I've probably felt since I've been doing this. It just feels kind of hopeless. It feels like these people just have unlimited power, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really discouraging. So right now, this feels like a little bit of a career death sentence. Because, like it or not, Twitter is where the public dialogue takes place today. And when they remove you from Twitter, they are removing your voice from the discussion. I think that many of us, and myself included prior to this, I think a lot of us feel like, I'm not an extremist, I'm not a bigot, I don't use slurs, I don't harass people, I don't attack people, so this can't happen to me. And I am here to tell you that you are so wrong. Not only can it happen to you, it will. This targeted censorship is hugely ramping up in time for the 2020 election, and make no mistake, this is a systemic effort to remove every influential and persuasive voice that opposes the radical left from the discussion. Now, before I get into all the details, I just want to make one thing really clear. This is not about me. I don't even particularly like Twitter all that much, to be honest. I'm more of a Facebook guy. I wouldn't fight this as hard as I intend to just to be on Twitter. So it really isn't an ego thing or a vanity thing for me, because it's not about me. It is about you. Because you watching this, you will be next. I promise you. I promise you, you will be next. I am the most boring, centrist, middle-of-the-road person. If I am banned, what does that say for you? What does that say to people who actually are kind of controversial? I mean, I don't think there's any reason that I should be controversial. And when you look back at 2016 and think of all of the people who were very influential in exposing the left, where are they now? Almost all of them are gone. They've been made to disappear, and pretty soon there will be no one left. Just in the debates this week, we saw presidential candidates arguing to have the President of the United States be banned from Twitter. I mean, that is the extent to what is happening, and this will not end. They are coming after the center-right, and then they will go after the center, then they will go after the center-left, and then what's left? So anyway, here is all the information, the timeline of events that led to my banning, and what we can do to fight it, and why it's important. So a few days ago, I was tweeting about International Pronoun Day. This hurts. So I spoke my mind about my feelings on radical gender ideology, namely how it goes against transgender people. And you're totally free to disagree with me, but there was nothing about the points I was making that were anything but civil. So these were some of my last tweets before getting banned. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people want to be treated the same as everyone else. Radical alphabet people want to be treated differently. That is a key distinction. These are both me. Sometimes I like looking like an androgynous, emaciated albino space vampire. Sometimes I like looking like a strung-out 90s computer hacker. Guess what? That doesn't make me my own special gender. The pronouns thing is so derogatory to trans people. It singles them out and turns them into an other. I view trans people the same as any other man or woman. I would never go up to a trans person and say, "What are your pronouns?" That is not treating them the same as everyone else. I'd also tweeted providing facts and statistics, debunking this fear-mongering hysteria about this epidemic of transgender murders. So anyway, I woke up the next morning and see an email saying that my Twitter has been suspended. And initially I just thought, oh great, some moron reported me and, I'm going to be put on the naughty step for a couple days. They initially didn't specify whether it was temporary or permanent even, but I've since come to find out that it is in fact a permanent ban. So this was reason number one, evading a permanent suspension. The only problem is I've never had a permanent suspension. How can I evade a suspension that I never had? So anyway, I appealed it, and in my appeal I'd asked them for some sort of evidence or specifics because I don't know what they're talking about. So later that night, I get an email saying that my appeal was denied and my account will not be restored. But now the reason had changed. Now it said nothing about evading a suspension. Now it was reason number 2. Managing multiple accounts for abusive purposes. Once again, the only problem is I don't have multiple accounts. This is the only Twitter account I have. This is the only Twitter account I have ever had. Yeah. So again, I had submitted another request asking them, again, what they're referring to, or some sort of specifics, because I genuinely don't know what they're talking about. Once again, I got no evidence, no specifics, no nothing. But sure enough, shortly after, I get another email from them, and this time with reason number 3. Abuse and targeted harassment. Ooh, this one actually had a tweet attached to it. So this tweet was from, I don't know, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, something like that. I honestly don't even remember who it was about. I think it might have been Ivanka Trump, but I'm not sure. All I remember is there was some female celebrity who was being attacked by a Twitter mob because she had posted pictures with her kids. And, you know, that was tone deaf, and some families don't have children, and children in cages, and something. So I responded to some blue checkmark who was attacking this person, and I responded by saying this. Oh my god, she loves her children? Burn the witch! There it is. This is the tweet that they are saying caused me to be permanently banned from Twitter. This is my abusive hate speech. This is my targeted harassment, where instead of harassing somebody, I was defending them. You know, if you have to search this hard for proof that somebody is a terrible person who needs to be silenced, maybe you're just wrong about them. You know, just a thought. Also, I was only sent this about 24 hours after I was already banned, so kind of seems like they just banned me and then looked for a reason, and this was the best they could come up with. So the next day I receive another email from them, and this time they've totally tossed aside reason number 3, and they're going back to reason number 2. Now it's about multiple accounts again, which I never even had. Where it stands now, I've still been given no specifics by them, no evidence. I mean, you don't get a phone number, an email address, nothing. So I'm totally in the dark. I have no clue if there was somebody who made a fake account of me, or if this is just something that Twitter is totally pulling out of their ass. Also, I was never told by Twitter that my tweets about gender had anything to do with the ban, but come on. Seems likely. So, in the past day or two, I've heard from multiple other people, like the journalist Nick Monroe or the documentary filmmaker Sean Campbell, that they were banned the exact same way I was, that they were given the same excuse, where they were told they were evading a permanent suspension that they never had. So, it seems as if this is just a tactic that Twitter uses. Now, another thing. Here is a key point that I keep coming back to. Twitter and all of these companies, all of these leftists talk about, oh, fighting hate. That's their excuse for censorship. That's their excuse for everything. Fighting hate. It's all about hate. But if you look at the people who are not banned from Twitter, you will see David Duke, Richard Spencer, Louis Farrakhan, actual white supremacists and neo-Nazis who are on Twitter. Some even have blue check marks, but I'm banned. You know, they said they wanted to exterminate the Jews, but ooh, I said there are 2 genders. And there's a reason for this. They want to keep that boogeyman out there and alive. They want you to think that voting for Democrats is the only thing standing between you and Nazis at your front door. You know, the media invented Richard Spencer. These people want the only ideas you can hear to be either radical leftism or white supremacy, because those are clearly your only choices. But, you know, this is just leftist privilege in action. Carlos Maza can call for violence explicitly and still be on Twitter. Celebrities like Tom Arnold can call for the assassination of the president and be on Twitter. Sean King can support domestic terrorism. Antifa can assault people and literally incite violence and use Twitter to do so and keep their Twitter account. You have neo-Nazis on Twitter. You have ISIS supporters on Twitter. You have pedophiles on Twitter. Murderers! Even O.J. Simpson! O.J. Simpson is is on Twitter. You can murder somebody and be on Twitter, but don't you dare have any center-right opinions. I just think it's amazing how my entire life on the internet, I never had one ban, I never had one suspension, I never had one harsh word said against me, until I was not a leftist anymore. Something that I've kind of wondered is why it feels like it's always me being targeted, why it seems like I get these things more than my friends like Blair or Brandon do. And I think that's because they have millions of fans, and Twitter doesn't want the bad publicity of that. They don't want that sort of pushback. But with me, I'm in this weird sort of in-between where I'm not unknown. I have a small following that I'm growing, but obviously I'm nowhere at that level. I'm nowhere as big as they are. But I'm just getting started in my career. I'm just beginning. So I think that these companies like Twitter think that there's nothing they can really do about people who are so big already, but they can prevent it from happening in the future. They think that they can stop any new voices who oppose the left from gaining any sort of traction. Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm going to Streisand effect the shit out of them. Let me be clear. I stand by every word of what I tweeted. Every word. And I am going to fight this like nothing you have ever seen. I'm not Milo, and they most certainly will not be doing me like they did him. I will never shut up, I will never quit, I will never back down, I will never give an inch to these people. So you can try to shut me up, but I'm not going anywhere. And more importantly, the ideas of people like me aren't going anywhere either. Rational, independent, anti-establishment, logical, center-right views will continue spreading like wildfire because they make sense to people. Unlike your twisted authoritarian ideology, which is like an old Christmas sweater. You pull on one loose thread and the whole thing falls apart. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the support. It truly means so much to me. It's been so many mixed emotions, especially trying to hang on to my sobriety from cigarettes. I just hit a month that I quit smoking, and I'm like hanging on by the skin of my teeth right now. But, you know, I'm not giving up on anything. So anyway, please share this video. Please tweet about it. Spread the word. If anyone watching this happens to know Tim Pool, please reach out to him. I'd really appreciate that. I really need you guys here. And more than I need you guys, we need each other, because us wrong thinkers need to support one another, because like I said, there's going to be nobody left soon. So please continue tweeting and spreading the word. The hashtag that people have been using is Free Mike Harlow. My Twitter handle is Mikey the Harlow. Also, if you tweet, make sure that you tag @TwitterSupport in your tweet. I've been told that that's important, I guess. Please, if you can keep tweeting at them, I would really appreciate it. We have to fight this. It's not just about me or you. It is about principles and ideas and rights and free speech and censorship. There's so many things that are on the line right now before we're living in a state of just total cultural communism. They need to see that there will be massive pushback for their actions, for every person that they try to silence. So you can't be complacent, you can't be quiet, you can't just sit idly by and wait as everyone around you gets banned thinking that you'll be the last one to go. And like I said, I am a centrist, center-right, independent with reasonable mainstream views that are shared by the majority of people in this country. I don't think I'm a bad person. I don't attack people. I don't discriminate. I don't hate anyone. You know, if this can happen to me, this can happen to anyone. And if you think that this can't happen to you, I hate to say it. I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you're kidding yourself. And I think one of the most frustrating things about all this is that, for me personally, I've always had a lot of issues with people like Milo or Gavin McInnes. They've said a lot of things that I don't like and that I wouldn't say. So this whole time that I've been doing this, since I started my channel, since I started speaking with walkaway events, I've always been very careful and very deliberate in my words, because I know that for people like me, we don't get second chances. You know, you either get your words exactly perfectly right or your life is over. And I can honestly say that in the time I've been doing this, since I started my channel, since I've been speaking on walkaway events, I really can't think of anything I've ever said that I would want to take back or be embarrassed of. So I've always been very cautious with what I say. And the thing is, I realize now, it doesn't matter. It makes absolutely no difference. What did I say to get banned for? So you can be as cautious as you want, and it does not matter. You know, apparently there are no first chances for people like us. Anyway, it feels a bit wrong to plug my Patreon here, but obviously this is a difficult time. I'm kind of trying to get by, so if you like what I do, I have all my links below. Check out my Patreon, subscribe to my channel, blah, blah, blah. In the meantime, for now at least, you can still find me on Facebook and Instagram. I have all my links down here. Check it out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for the support. I'm not giving up. I'm not backing down. I will fight this until my last breath. Thank you guys. I love you guys. I'm not giving in. I'm not going anywhere, and I will talk to you soon. And can we talk about how Dan Crenshaw followed me on Twitter, and now he's not going to know how to find me, and now I'm not going to be Mrs. Dan Crenshaw, and I just wanted to be Mrs. Crenshaw, and Twitter is just fucking with my whole life.